my channel, Notes in the Sewing Room. If you are new here, my name's Becky. Thank you for joining me today. In today's video, I am talking about one of my favourite ever garments, and that is the Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this pattern. Basically, I've been doing a little series of videos which are all about some of my favourite ever makes and also collections of things that I've made. So far in my collection of videos, I have done the Linden Jumper. That's one of my all-time favourite jumper patterns. So you can see that video on my channel, and I'll link it as well if you are interested in that one. And then I have also done the collection of Cocoa tops and dresses as well, both of which are my favourites as well. If you can have lots and lots of favourites, these are all some of mine. And today I am chatting all about the Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top and dress. I say dress because it can be hacked into a dress, and I have certainly done that, so I'm going to be sharing those with you shortly. I've got 13 different versions of this pattern that I've made so far, and I say so far because I will definitely make it again. As I've said, it is definitely one of my favourites, and if you do love a pattern, why not make it lots and lots of different times in lots of different types of jersey fabric like I have with this particular pattern. So I'm sure you would like to see what I've actually made. By the way, I've not made these all recently. I've made these basically over the years since I've actually owned this pattern, and I definitely think that I've had my money's worth out of this pattern because, like I say, I've made it 13 times and counting basically. So if you haven't made this top before, I'm also going to be chatting about 10 different reasons why I think that you should give this pattern a go if you haven't had a chance to try it already. But first of all, let's talk about some of the things that I've made. So I'll start off with the one that I'm actually wearing at the moment. So this is a top version, as you can see, and it's made in a cherry jersey fabric that I bought from Material Girl Laura quite a while ago. And you can see it's probably got the ruched neckline version there, so it's kind of, I think you'd probably call it a bit of the sweetheart neck with the ruched detail there. Really love this version. I love it because it's bright, it's cheerful, and it goes with a lot of things in my wardrobe, particularly little denim skirts like the one that I'm wearing at the moment. So I'm just going to get changed, and then I'm going to basically show you all 13 versions. I'm going to start off with the tops, and then I'll move on to the dresses. So here goes. This is another one. 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 This is another version. This is another version. This is another version. This is another version. And this is my final version. So the reason I'm not actually wearing this version is because this is the pregnancy version of the Agnes dress, which is an add-on pack to the pattern. And obviously I'm not pregnant at the moment, and that's why I've not put on the dress, because I don't feel like you'll see it in the right way. But if I just hold that up, you'll be able to see it. It's got the elasticated waist, and I've made it in a lovely cotton jersey fabric that's got a lovely animal print to it. So I really enjoyed wearing this one when I was pregnant, and I'd certainly recommend it for anyone else who is pregnant at the moment. So I thought I'd actually chat you through some of my favourites from the garments that I'm showing you so far. I think definitely the top versions are my favourite in general. That's basically because I feel like I can layer them up, I can layer them down, depending on what season of the year it is, and I just feel super comfortable in them. And I just feel like, I don't know, they're just quite smart, even though they're a t-shirt. I don't know if that makes sense, but I kind of think so. So let me tell you about some of my favourites that I've got here. So I think one of the reasons that I like this pattern is because I feel like it can be changed in so many different ways. So this red version here is one of my favourites. I made this in a cotton jersey fabric from Minerva. It's got that lovely spot detail on it. And I made this with just 1 metre of fabric, and that's because I shortened the sleeves, as you can see here. And I like how the sleeves can be finished in a really easy way. You could use a zigzag stitch or any kind of stretch stitch on your sewing machine, but I've used a twin needle just round there. I like that it's got a lovely neckband on it, so you don't have to do any faffing with top stitching around the neck area. And I like that it's nice and fitted so that it can easily tuck into skirts, or it could tuck into high-waisted jeans or something like that. So but that's the simple round neck version of the shirt. And yeah, I just think that's just really easy to make and lovely to wear at the same time. One of the things that I really like about the Agnes top is that I feel like it can be worn casually around the house. I sometimes wear my top with a pair of pyjama trousers, or it can be equally worn out and about with a skirt layered under a dress, under a cardigan, under a jumper, you know, whatever you want really. But I just feel like it's such a versatile piece. So this is my next favourite one. So this is my most recent version of the Agnes that I've made. And this one has got the lovely ruched sleeve detailing. So again, I made this in a jersey fabric from Minerva, and you see that it's got that elastic on the inside of the arm there, and then it's ruched around that area as well, which I just think adds a lovely bit of extra detail. Again, I went for the plain neckline version on that one and the 3/4 length arm, although actually it's probably slightly shorter than a 3/4 length arm. I think I had about 1.5 meters to make this one, basically because you need a little bit more because of the sleeve detail, and it's slightly fuller, so you need more fabric for that. But I really like that one. I've worn that plenty of times since I've actually made it, and I'll definitely make the ruched sleeve version again. I would say that if you are new to sewing, the ruched sleeve version does take longer to make, and it's slightly more complicated than making the straightforward round neck, or this one that I'm wearing, which has got, I don't know if you can see it on the camera there, but it's got the kind of elastic on the inside there to create that ruching down the centre bust. So, but yeah, that's a lovely version to either make the ruching at the centre bust there, or to have a go at doing the sleeve version. So I think the sleeves are really on trend at the moment, and they're just super fun to wear and something a little bit different in your wardrobe. And I thought I'd tell you about my favourite dress version. So this is in an animal print fabric, and this basically is my version of loungewear. I'm not the kind of person that likes to wear, you know, kind of jogging bottoms and things around the house. I don't really know why, I've just never really got into it. So to be able to wear a pair of just simple black leggings and a really comfy dress is like my version of comfy. So this is my Agnes dress. I basically cut this version off at the waist notch, just here, and then I added on a gathered skirt. So I just used the full width of the fabric to create that lovely gather, and I just cut that, I think, in 2 pieces, so one for the front, one for the back, then just gathered it into the waist basically. I mainly made this on my overlocker, apart from finishing off the sleeves with the twin needle and also the hem. I really like this fabric. It's a cotton jersey fabric, but it's not too heavyweight, and I like the animal print on it. I just think it's really fun, and as I said, really super comfy to wear as well. I had this one on over the weekend when I was just in the house and just watching telly and doing washing and general housework and boring stuff like that. So it's just really practical, and you know, if I was popping out to the supermarket or something like that, I can also wear it without getting changed and feeling too scruffy. So yeah, I like that one, and good for summer, good for layering in winter with a nice pair of thick tights or leggings, and yeah, I like it. So I would recommend you give it a go with a skirt of some sort. Let's talk about sizing if you are unfamiliar with this pattern. So one of the things that I always love about Linden the Buttons patterns in general is that they come with an amazing little instruction booklet, and inside here it tells you what your body measurements are. So, you know, it encourages you to obviously take your measurements before you start making the garment, and then it gives you the finished garment measurements as well, which I always think is really helpful, because then you know how much ease is involved in, or shall I say included in, the thing that you're making, and you know, you can make a judgment for yourself on how loose or not you want that particular thing to be. The instruction booklet also comes with a layout guide for the fabric, which I always think is really helpful, particularly if you are new to sewing, and then it tells you all the instructions of how to do each step, and it gives you some really helpful pictures as well, which I always think is really good. Like, even if you are an experienced sewer, sometimes you can just have a bit of a mind block, or you just want a bit of a helping hand, or you can pick up various tips and tricks from Tilly along the way, I always think. And you know, I just really like how she breaks it down step by step and just holds your hand throughout the whole making process. So even if you are doing 10 minutes of sewing there, 20 minutes there, or you're having a whole day at sewing, however you're doing it, you can come back to this instruction booklet and know where you are and just pick up where you left off. So in terms of the size that I made for my tops and the dresses as well, although the dresses aren't included in the booklet, they're all hack versions that I've done, I actually made the Linden the Buttons size 3 in here, which I think is a UK size 10. So the finished garment measurements are 32.5 inch bust. I have a 31 inch bust. The finished waist measurement is 26.5 inches. but if you look at the body measurements, that is a 28-inch waist. So my waist is 28. So that means that when you've finished the top, as you can see, it is quite fitted, but depending on what jersey you use, you've still got plenty of ease in there to obviously get it on and off and make it nice and comfortable to wear. Now it talks about the hip measurement in here being, for the size 3, 35.5. Now I think, it might be because I'm tall, I'm 5'10", that the hip isn't like hip, if you know what I mean. It's not all the way down here. So if I just undo this, you'll see. So for me, it kind of comes to the high hip there. So it says that the final hip measurement for the size 3 is 35.5. And actually my hip measurement is 40, so I would actually fall between the size 4 and 5 if I was actually making it all the way down on kind of my lower hip. But I find that actually it's fine for me like this. I would say that rather than using the 1.5 centimetre seam allowance as it says in the pattern pack, I tend to make the whole thing on my overlocker using probably just over a 1 centimetre seam allowance. So that obviously makes a difference. But that's just my choice. I just wanted that little bit of extra wiggle room when I'm wearing my tops and dresses. So of course, if you do fall between the various sizes on this pattern or any pattern, you can draw between the various sizes. So if you fall across the sizes, you can redraw the side seams, for example, on the front and back bodice to, go between, say, a size 3 and a size 4 or 5, or, whichever, areas you fall into. I often find with Tilly and the Button skirt patterns that I'm often between, say, 3 sizes. So I might be one size on the waist and then a completely different size at the hip. But I think that's the brilliant thing about making your own clothes, that you can grade between those different lines and make the perfect garment for you. So talking about the other size measurements that are actually in here, so looking at the finished garment measurements, if you were making a Tilly size 1, that's a finished bust size of 28.5 and a hip of 31.5, and the size 8 in Tilly and the Button sizes is a 42.5-inch bust and a 45.5-inch hip. So yeah, that's the size measurements included in this pattern pack. So let's talk about my 10 reasons why I think you should give this pattern a go if you haven't had a chance to try it already. I know this pattern's been around for quite a long time, and it might be that you gave it a go a while ago and for whatever reason you were going to get around to making it again, but you didn't get around to it. Or maybe you bought the pattern and you haven't had a chance to try it. I know that I'm guilty of having lots and lots of different patterns in my pattern drawer, and sometimes it's really difficult to find the time to fit them all in. So hopefully I'm going to give you a little bit of inspiration in this video to give this pattern another try, or a try for the first time if you haven't made it as yet. So reason number 1 is that it's really versatile, and as I've said previously, it can be dressed up or it can be dressed down. Really depends on the type of fabric that you use, perhaps the colour of fabric that you use, but I love that this fabric, this top should I say, can be literally worn all year round. Reason number 2 is that the pattern pack does come with 2 different sleeve variations, which is ideal depending on what season it is of the year and what you fancy making. So as you can see in the pattern pack there, you can make the long sleeve version, or you can make a 3/4 length arm version. Or of course, you can shorten the sleeves like I have to make it more of a t-shirt style. Reason number 3 is that this t-shirt is really on trend, I think, because it can be made with the ruched sleeve detailing. So it's got the gathers around the top, and then it's got the lovely detailing down the centre of the sleeve as well. You'll need some clear elastic to actually do that detailing, or that's what I've used generally. I'm not sure if you could use any other kind of elastic to do that, but the clear elastic does work really well. You can buy that from lots of different haberdashery shops online, and of course in person if you are able to get out to a haberdashery shop when they're open. Reason number 4 is that I really like that Tilly's released the add-on pack for the Agnes, so you can make this garment when you're pregnant. And I loved wearing my pregnancy dress version. I never actually got around to making the top version. I don't know why, as I love the pattern so much. But if I am pregnant again in the future, I will hopefully have a go at doing the top version. But I loved wearing the dress. I like how it's got a really comfortable elastic waist, and you can make it with or without pockets, I believe. I decided to go for the version without pockets just because I didn't want any extra bulk around my bump area, but it was just really nice to wear, and I wore it a lot during my pregnancy. Reason number 5 is that it can easily be hacked into a dress. As you saw in my versions when I was putting on and off my garments, I've made it with a gathered skirt, I've made it with a circle skirt, and of course you could add a pleated skirt or any kind of skirt you fancy. My blue version with the flowers on, I actually added on the skirt from the Tilling the Buttons Joni pattern, so just merging these two patterns together, and it worked really well. Reason number 6 is that it can easily be hacked into a basic t-shirt. So as I said, you could shorten the sleeves and just go with the basic kind of round neck. Of course, if you did want a little bit more ease in the garment, generally you could size up to a slightly bigger size than perhaps you actually needed to make in terms of your body measurements, but then you would have extra ease in the garment, generally making it slightly more roomy to wear if you're perhaps wanting to wear it for exercise, or you just want that little bit of extra comfort. Reason number 7 is that it can be made in a range of different jersey fabrics. I've made the majority of my versions in a cotton jersey fabric, but I have made a couple of versions in a viscose jersey, and my blue dress with the flowers on was actually made in a very lightweight ponte fabric. I would say though, if you are going to use a ponte, do maybe consider sizing up in the actual garment measurements, because depending on how much stretch your fabric's got, then obviously that's going to make it easier or not to get that garment on and off over your head and make it nice and comfortable to wear. So a lot of pontes perhaps don't have as much stretch as something like this that I'm wearing, which is a cotton jersey, or of course a viscose jersey. So I would consider sizing up if you are making it in a ponte in a dress like I have. Reason number 8 is that this garment looks completely different, I think, in different colourways. And of course you can have lots of fun by using print fabrics like I have here. I love that this one's got a cherry print on it, and I really like my versions that I've made with spots, but literally the world's your oyster. There's lots of different fabrics out there that have got beautiful prints, so why not give it a go in lots of different types of fabric or different colourways that you've got in your fabric stash already. Reason number 9 is that I think this pattern never goes out of fashion, because you've got lots of different options. So you've got the round neck, you've got the ruched sleeves, you've got the ruched front detailing, you can make it plain, you can make it with long sleeves, short sleeves, 3/4 length sleeves. You know, really you've got so many different options there, and I just feel like it's a complete staple that can be in your wardrobe forever and ever. Reason number 10 is that it is a completely stylish top that can be worn for special occasions, or it can be worn casually. It's really quick to make, and I just think it looks super stylish in whatever manner you're wearing it, whether that's under a dress, with a skirt, with jeans, under a coat. However, you really have lots of options to make it look stylish and individual. I hope you've enjoyed learning about my different versions of my Agnes tops and dresses today. If you would like to check out some of my other full collection videos, you can find those on my channel, and I will link those in the description box below as well. You can probably just see my Labrador actually moving around in the background, Bentley, so he's probably just wanting to get comfortable in his chair there. Yeah, I know a few of you like to see Bentley on my videos here. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. If you have, I would love it if you could hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, not forgetting to press that notification bell as well. That way you will see all of my latest videos as I upload them onto my channel. But thank you so much for watching today. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who's subscribed already. It really does mean a lot to me. But I shall leave it there for today and say, see you soon. Bye.